Okay guys, so today we have another build. This is a mix between second-hand, which is the case in the motherboard, and new parts. I am actually quite busy at the moment. I have a few builds going on. I have one right behind me here, and then I have like 2 or 3 more. I have another Antec to go out. So I'm sorry if this build seems rushed. It's just because I'm very busy at the moment. So let's get straight into the parts. For a case, we have the Aerocool X Predator X1 Black Edition. When I started this channel, I had this case, and it's not too bad a case. There's a few complaints I have about it, but they're not very minor. Like the front LEDs tend to pop out when you're trying to put the front panel back on. But other than that, it's quite good. It has a nice little feature here where you can lift this up if you have a radiator back here. Air comes down this way and it looks really good. It has a fan controller, and well, that's pretty much it. It has two places for spare fans here on the side, and it has an exhaust fan and an orange LED intake fan. Okay, so for RAM, we have 8 GB of DDR3 RAM. Just quickly bought this on Amazon. There's no actual known company. It's unbranded, if you want to call it. But still, it's good RAM. We have our Asus motherboard here. It is the Asus A55 MLK. I have also had this motherboard. That's going to go together with our AMD A6600K. 6600K, sorry. And we have a Western Digital Caviar Blue 1TB hard drive. Okay, so here we have our AMD A8 6600K. Just gonna unbox this now. As you can see, it is brand new. Just have to break the seal and just quickly cut that, and then there we have our stock heatsink. And we have our APU. And with all of them we have a little leaflet, kind of like a user's guide, if you want to call it. And that's all it is in the box. Now, the client who was buying this computer, he wanted to be able to play good games at medium to high settings, and he wants to be able to record and live stream while doing it. Now these graphics are quite good, like they're better than my one, and I'm running Battlefield 3 now, 720p, and I can run it at high, medium to high, so that'll be okay, especially because he's not getting the most expensive monitor, so it's only 720p. Now I'm gonna unbox our hard drive. Just put the box off to the side. Now, here we have WD Western Digital 1TB. So here's our hard drive. You just take it out of the bag, and well, there it is. These are actually have a deal on Amazon.co.uk right now. They're in around half price, £40, which is a very good price for these. Usually you're looking at maybe £60 to £70. So if you're in Ireland or the UK, yeah, if you want a 1TB hard drive, pick it up now, because don't think the deal's going to be on for that much longer. Now here we have a Corsair CX430. 430 watts will be more than enough for this computer. It's not running graphics cards or whatever, so that's all we really need. We have your average DVD player. These are literally what, €11. So, and then for keyboard and mouse, we have the Nemesis Kane Pro gaming combo pack. I have this one myself, and it is a very nice keyboard and mouse. The mouse is very, very good. I hate this box. It's so hard to open. There's a complaint I have about it. The boxes are too hard to open. A little bit of damage in shipping. It's not too bad. No. There we go. There we have keyboard and mouse. Keyboard lights up in actually I'll give you a demo now with my personal one. Here we have my personal one. The colors are that kind of purple, blue, red. You can change the brightness settings. And here's the mouse. The mouse switches between colors and has different DPI settings up to 2400 DPI. And there's the $700 gaming PC build we did. But yeah, very good keyboard and mouse, quite cheap as well for the quality you're getting. And then you have your kind of miscellaneous stuff. We have adapters, SATAs, extensions for fans, and of course you need your tools. So now we're just going to pack the motherboard. So as you can see, when you pull the APU out of the box, the stock heatsink does actually have thermal paste on it. So you don't want to take that out of the plastic yet until you're actually installing it, because if you put that down, it's ruined. You're gonna have to clean it off with rubbing alcohol and put new thermal paste on. So leave it in the plastic. Now, I think first I'm going to install my RAM. So actually just pull back the retention clips. Now, if a motherboard has 4 sockets, you might want to consult the manual about which socket to actually put the RAM in. That's the way around. And there is a notch in the RAM, and also in the socket, so you can only put it in one way. And now pull that up. So now we have a RAM in, and we can put in our A8 6600K. Open it very carefully. Take it out. Now, unlike the Intel chips, the AMD ones have the pins on the bottom, and so they are very, very fragile. So the pins are not in the socket; they are on the actual CPU. Now, if you can just see, there is a little gold triangle right there, and there's a little triangle on the motherboard right there, which means it's going to go on that way. So we're going to drop it into place just like that, and now we're going to put down the retention lever, and it is in place. That's it. And also it comes with a case sticker. Now, these are quite easy coolers to install. What you're going to do is, since these already have thermal paste on them, you literally just put it down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook this one, put it down onto the APU, and then make sure that this one gets hooked around as well. And this lever here is just going to be pulled like that, and it's not going anywhere. Now, if you see here, it says CPU fan. This is going, that is the CPU fan header is going to go into there, and there's a little notch in it, which means it can only go in one way. You can't put it in this way. All they can do is that, and now we can cable tie this up later on. So there is our A6600K installed. That's practically our motherboard prep now. We can get started on the case. And I also have our motherboard speaker in, which that's just when you start up your computer, it'll make a beep. Okay, let's get on. So now we're just gonna take the sides off the case. So that's done with thumb screws. And this should just pull right off. You can see inside the case now. We already have our standoffs installed, just because we're in a rush, so we don't have that much time to really record. And now I'm going to take off the other side. There we go. And there's the back. Now, as you can see, we just routed through the cables. That's nothing really significant. So there is how you take the sides off a case. In this case, it does have rubber grommets for cable management. Make sure that you get an ATX power supply with a case this size, because you're not going to have that much leeway in the cables to do proper cable management. I've made that mistake myself. That's just a little tip to make sure you get the best cable management out of your PC. So now we're going to go ahead and install the motherboard. So I'll get back to you when I have it all ready. So now we have our case on its side, and I'm going to put in the I/O shield. So just bring a few out of the way. Just bring it down like this, and it should just snap right into place. Some I/O shields take a little bit more force than others. This seems to be one of them. Really does not want to go in. So there we go, we have it in. Does require quite a bit of force, so don't be afraid to push it down. So now all you have to do is install the motherboard. Standoffs are already in. Right, so I've just taken out the motherboard speaker because it's quite long, so I don't want it draping underneath the motherboard. It's really easy to put right back in. So pretty much all you have to do is bring it down. Make sure it lines up with the ports here, and then keep maneuvering it and pushing it so that it will eventually line up with all the holes for the standoffs. As you can see there, it's all in. We just need to push this side back in a little bit. And now all we have to do is screw down the motherboard. Alright, so as you can see, I have one in. That's just help all the other ones be lined up. Now this motherboard is a micro ATX, which means it only has 4 holes for screws to go in the standoffs. I wouldn't recommend using a smaller screwdriver here, but I just prefer using this one. Oh, it's in, and now there's 4 more. So now, as you can see, we have all 6 screws in. 2 here, 2 there, and 2 at the top, which probably are kind of hard to see. But they're there anyway. And now I'm gonna put back in the motherboard speaker, which goes right here. Going to. There we go. It's in. That's how you put it in. It's easy as that. And now we can put in our Corsair CX430. If you're going for a power supply, I highly recommend Corsair power supplies. Make sure all those holes are in them. And then just get your screws. I'm turn the case back just so it's easier. There. And now I'm gonna go to this one. Okay, so there's our power supply in. All 4 screws in. And now we're going to install our hard drive. Now, in this case, you do not have hard drive trays that are built in. You get these. The front fan is mounted on one of these. These are also used for a hard drive. So, if I leave you up there, you can see here it says front, which means this is going to go in this way into here, and then it's going to be screwed down. And so we're going to put our hard drive in like this, line up the holes, and then it's all just going to go down in there. It's hard to get a good angle. It's going to go down in the bottom one, so we have direct airflow from the fan coming over the motherboard. So now line up those holes and get my screws. I'll do this side and then I'll cut to when I have them all done. As you can see, we have it soldered in. I have 1 screw in, and now I have to put in the other 4. As you can see, we have this very end one lined up. There we go. Whoops. Almost hit the camera there. Whoa. probably use a smaller screwdriver for this, but we don't have one perfect size, because we either have this one just slightly too big, or we have the other one that is slightly too small. Now we have to do the other side. Okay, so as you can see, we have our hard drive in. Now, later on, when we're doing the wiring, I will show you why I put it here and not in the very bottom one. But for now, we're going to install our optical drive. This is a normal DVD player, CD player. They're literally like, let's say, $20. So, put that in. I'm going to take out the toolless. This case does have like a toolless design to put these in. And then it should just slide directly in. I know what's wrong now. Cabling. Yeah. One or two wires just kind of stop it up. There we go. And now around here you can see where the holes are lining up. Go in there, this one's going to go in there, push it in, and lock it into place. And now, exact same on the other side. Right here. Getting caught on the desk. Now, so that's flush, and it's not going anywhere. So that's our optic drive installed and our hard drive installed. So that's about our SATAs connected, or our SATAs installed. We still have to do the wiring, but it is coming along quite nicely, and I am looking forward to seeing it all booted up. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to connect up all our cables. As you can see, we have all our power supply cables going through the back. Like here, and we have some tucked under here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect up our 4 pin, which is actually an 8 pin, it's a 4+4 pin, and our 24 pin, which is a 20+4. Now, I'm going to connect up the 4 pin first. Just connect these, and it is going to be this one that will go in here. Such a bad position. and I'm pretty sure that my hand's in the way, so I'm actually gonna cut it here. So as you can see, we have our 4-pin in now. My hand was in the way before, so you weren't able to see it, and also it was in a really bad position. So I really need to get my head here to look in. So my head and my hand would have been in the way. So now we're going to connect up our 24-pin, which I think I will bring through here. Which, well, that's not good. I really would have preferred if these rubber grommets were a little bit bigger. I'll take it off. That's one downside to this case, I will say. The rubber grommets are slightly too small. Now, I'll just tighten this up. Now we have our setup powers. I'll put in the one for our optical drive first. So just go. And we have the other one down here. There we go. Try and keep it as tidy as possible. Now I'm going to connect my set of data cables. And now, why I put the hard drive into this bay, not the very bottom one, will come clear. Number one, I wanted to be able to put cables under here. And number two, since the right angle connectors are going into the hard drive, it's going to make it a little bit easier for the cables to run out here. It literally just goes straight. I didn't have to bring it up a little bit. So now, if I get this right, just come straight back in here, and that's set of 1, set of 2, set of 3, set of 4. So hard drive is going to go in 1, and optical drive is going to go in 2, which is actually straight angle. And now, there we go. And now we still have our Molex back here. So there's pretty much most of the cabling done. We still have all this to do. But from the power supply, we have it all done. Right, so now we're just gonna do the front I/O wiring. Now this motherboard doesn't actually have USB 3, it only has USB 2. So we're going to be using this. This is the USB 2 connection, this is the USB 3 connection. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring this out the top grommet. And now, as you can see here, it's actually missing a pin. Well, not missing a pin, but they purposely have one pin covered up so you can only put it in one way. If you see here, there's no pin, which means it has to go in this way. Usually they will have the writing facing up. Anyway, so that's just in case it doesn't go in that way, you'll know because there will be one pin missing. And now that doesn't look bad. Bring our speaker out over that. So there's our USB, our front USB connected up. Now we have our HD audio. Not sure if you can see that or not. HD audio. So that's going to be connected in. It's been so long since I've worked on one of these boards, I forget where it is. But alright, so here we have our HD audio connector. I have this routed the exact same way as the USB, out the top and in here. So we're going to come straight across. Once again, it has one pin missing, so it's going to go straight on, and bring our speaker out over it. Now, as you can see, the computer's coming on very, very well, and we have our power switch and whatnot to hook up now. We also have our fans and everything. We have our Molexes. So we're almost done. And here is our front fan connections. We have one Molex and one fan header, and we have the same here. Okay guys, so you can see the build is now done. It's been about a week because, well, that non-branded RAM was terrible. Now we know if you're gonna build a computer, you buy good parts. You don't go cheap. Now, as you can see, we did get new RAM, and we got, just to show you here, some of the best RAM you could probably get. Kingston HyperX Beast. It's a really, really good RAM. If you're ever gonna buy RAM, I suggest either getting this or Corsair Vengeance. There are other makes out there, but I prefer those two makes. Now, all I have to do now is boot it up. As you can see, we have our keyboard and all set up, and we have a copy of Windows 7. So I'll set it up and we'll get back to you. Okay, so now we're going to install Windows. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it on. And it should turn on normally. Before the LEDs and all were turning on. And then nothing else. Right, so now I got the tape off. I wasn't able to open it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna this and get our disc. Again. Nope. We got a nice loud motherboard speaker. There we go, there's our Our Windows loading files now. I actually forgot how nice the LED fan on the front of this thing was. Okay, so as you can see, we're on the on stage 2, which is installing Windows. We have copying Windows files done. Expanding Windows files is at 77%, 78, 79. So this will take a lot shorter than I actually thought. It does download slightly quicker than Windows 8, which is weird because supposedly Windows 8 downloads quicker. But this shouldn't take too long, and there's no need for me to show you how to install Windows. It's literally just that easy. Okay, so there you can see it's all hooked up and running. No, I doubt you can see that because flash is on and there's the windows open right there. So we're installing all the updates now. There was actually 152 updates. We're on 143 of 152, so that shouldn't be too long, and then we can go to and go drop it off at the client's house and help set him up, help him set it up, and for gaming it's gonna be pretty good, I'd say, because well, I can run Battlefield 3 on high and still get roughly like 40 frames per second. So this thing with 8 GB of RAM, where I only have 4, and instead of a 5600K, he is a 6600K. So he's gonna be pretty good when it comes to the game. And then Battlefield 3 is still a very good looking game. For its age, it's still a very good looking game. So yeah, gaming should be good, and he should be able to record while doing it. So this will be the end of this build. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you have any questions, don't forget to leave a comment, and ask me anything really. I don't mind. I will respond.